Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the greatest show on earth. This is the AC Show. I am Chris, aka Mr. Carroll Science, and this lovely young gentleman next to me is
Aaron, aka the Handy Outdoor Nerd. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight.
And we are glad to be back. Last week was a little bit of a hiccup because I wasn't able to make it on the stream right away. I did come later, but I had family in town. It was my daughter's birthday last week, and so we were celebrating her 1-year-old birthday party. And so that's why I wasn't really. I was supposed to be on my channel last week, but it wasn't. So this week I'm making up for it, and we are back. So how's everybody doing tonight? By the way, if you're watching this live, great. Thank you for coming. If you are watching this later as a repeat, we greatly appreciate all likes and comments and whatever else on the video. It helps YouTube's algorithm to say, hey, this channel maybe deserves more than, negative push. So appreciate that. What do you got going on today, Aaron?
There's a lot of stuff. So I went and mowed, air quotations. I feel like I'm like this in the screen. So I'm like, I gotta move my hand or I can see myself. Monday, that's much better. And I say mowed Monday. It took me 3 hours to mow not even half of my backyard because my mower's going out. So I had to spend a lot of money today on a new mower.
So, you had to. I'm sure that it was just really, really hard for you to go, man, dang, I guess I got to get a new mower. That's the way I'd feel.
It's nice to have a new mower. I was able to mow faster, much, much faster. But the fact of the matter, that is money that I wasn't planning on spending. And I need to be yard mowed. Well, if it's something I'm planning on spending, that's okay. But I was just not expecting to do that. So, but that's what I've been doing today. Got that done. Got some test prints knocked out today for a customer piece that I'm working on. Well, I showed you that earlier, so yeah, got that going, and turn the air conditioner off. I don't need that going while I'm here. Got a fan right here blowing on me, so I don't get too hot. So
nice. I got a ceiling fan, but it's not turned on right now. Although it was like 111 degrees today.
Yeah. Do you want to tell everybody the fun text I got the other day from you?
Yeah, so I have had on the same printer 2 very interesting print failures. Very, very interesting. I wish I had taken pictures, but unfortunately I didn't. Although I got some pictures, but they're on my phone right now, and the cable that I have for my phone is USB-C on both sides, so I can't plug it in to USB on my computer to be able to pull it up. But anyways, let me tell you guys the story. So one fail was I left my printer in my car, which in Arizona, right now it gets up to, it surpasses 110 every day for the last couple weeks. It's been over 110. And that means that inside of the car, it surpasses, oh boy, I don't even know. It probably gets up to 150, 160, maybe hotter. The statistic that I heard is on a hot sunny day at 98 degrees, within 10 minutes, your car gets up to 140. So whatever that scales up to, with it being 110 degrees and being in the sun a lot longer on top of pavement. So basically it got so hot that the plastic actually started to soften. And so where the drive gear and the what is it called? The bearing, where the drive gear and the drive bearing come together, it actually squeezed the filament and it caused it to flatten out, which means that it was flatter on that side, but it actually squished it out to make it wider. So when it went into the Bowden tube, it actually jammed itself inside the Bowden tube, and I wasn't able to get it out. So I had to clear that and get a brand new Bowden tube for my printer. Luckily, I have the Alien 3D UFO subscription box, which is super cool. And last month it came with some Capricorn tubing, so I replaced it with some Capricorn tubing, and now the printer's working better than ever. So I did a little test print so I could see how everything was going. And when I got home today, checking my test print,
I got a picture you can pop up just to show everybody.
Thank you. Here, I'll
Since you
pop that bad boy. So I don't know if you can see, but my spool of filament is actually hanging off the side there. It picked the whole spool up and dragged it all the way up. So pretty funny. The spool got tangled. The filament got crossed over itself. I'm pretty sure that I didn't let that happen, but it's kind of impossible for that to happen out of the factory. So it must have been my fault somehow. But that was another interesting one. All I know is that my chibi malls, I was printing some chibi malls from our buddy Joe Larson, 3D printing professor, and they were one of them was almost done, and the other two were like halfway up when, for some reason, the filament just stopped extruding. I don't know why.
That's hilarious.
I used to think that little drive motor was not very powerful, but I mean, it lifted the whole spool up and dragged it halfway up the side of the printer. So I guess it was stronger than I thought it was.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
That's not too bad.
But now I've got another test print going, and everything seems to be a-okay. So I think we're going to do all right.
That's always good. So, so what else is new? What's that?
Well, school starting on Monday for us. We're going back to school face to face, or mask to mask, or however you want to say it.
Villain to villain.
What's that?
Villain to villain.
Villain to villain. That's it. So we're going back to school face to face, and we're a little bit concerned because I read lips. I don't know if I have terrible hearing. Every time anybody says something to me, I'm like, "What's that? What'd you say? Can you repeat that for me?" I say it all the time, and that's because I have a hard time understanding unless I can see your mouth moving. So wearing a mask is going to be a challenge for me to understand what my students are saying. It's going to be a little bit tough.
Not to mention everything's muffled anyway, so.
Right. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge. And we actually have a student in our school who's deaf, and they have a hard time hearing anyways. So they actually asked if we could wear face shields instead of face masks. Because the face shields allow the student to see the teacher's face, they can read the lips, and then they can understand better. Plus, if you're wearing a face shield, you don't have something right over the top of your nose and mouth, which makes it really, really difficult to breathe, especially if you have some sort of anxiety or asthma, which, I mean, let's be honest, in a middle school, everyone's got anxiety. The teachers, the students, administrators, all their parents. It's a mess. So we were sitting at a meeting on Monday or Tuesday or something, one of these days, and my principal looks at us all and says, "We just got the word we're going back to school face to face." And they said, somebody donated face shields for all of the elementary school. but not for the middle school. So she said, we're trying to figure out a solution for that. And I just raised my hand. I said, do we have transparency sheets? And she was like, that's a weird question, right? She's like, I think so, somewhere. Like, we're in the middle of talking about a pandemic here, Chris. What are you talking about? And I just said, if we have transparency sheets, I can 3D print some face shields. And I got the files from the let's see, what is it called? What was the hashtag? Shields Up. Hashtag Shields Up. So I was able to get those files, and I 3D printed some face shields. They had a 3-hole punch version that worked really well for what we had available to us at the school. So I used the 3-hole punch version, and I printed out like 20-something face shields and was passing them out to all the staff. So now all the teachers have a face shield they can wear instead of a mask. And most of the teachers, they put the face shield on, and they were like, wow, I can wear this. I don't have to wear a mask. I can wear this instead. It's kind of like, it's amazing. That file, it's much lighter than you think it is. It doesn't weigh hardly anything. It's about as uncomfortable as wearing a pair of glasses. And so if you wear glasses all the time anyways, then it's not a big deal. But if you're like me and you don't wear glasses all the time, it can be, the first time you have to wear glasses for a long period of time, it can be a little annoying. You can get headaches, stuff like that. But a lot of the teachers really preferred it because you don't have something pushing against your nose and mouth and gives you a little more breathing room.
The funny thing is, if you wear glasses and you wear a mask, there's this wonderful problem I have.
That was so instantaneous, Aaron. Like, I can't believe how quick that was. That was amazing. Yeah.
Got a lot of practice.
So the face shield thing is going to be a really big help for my school. I'm glad that we were able to get that going. I have masks. I have face shields. I have those what do they call them? Gaiters or whatever. Those sleeves. I have some of those that I just ordered that are coming in soon. I have all kinds of stuff.
Speaking of masks, I've been wanting to talk about this, and I didn't get to talk about it last week because we just had a whole bunch of stuff going on with the show, with having Brian and Joe as the special co-hosts for last week. Right. Have you watched the amazing, the wonderful, the devilishly handsome Ben Heck last videos?
No.
Ninja Man Heckador from the Ben Heck Show. No?
No.
You've not watched his last?
I don't know that I'm subscribed to him. I don't know. I haven't seen him.
Oh, Chris, we can no longer be friends.
What is it? Ben Heck?
Ben Heck.
Ben Heck.
Yep, Ben Heck Hacks. That's his new thing he does. He does not do the Ben Heck Show anymore. He's no longer with Element 14. I don't know why that is, but he's just no longer doing that. Anyway, he made a mask that deploys instantly onto his face. He did it kind of like the Predator jaw. Like, so you got the mandible that comes out, and you got the part that goes down, and it has magnets, so it will come up and then together. And he was like, well, this is a little more complicated and kind of hard to do. So his second version actually goes up instead, just goes up. But he wanted to make it so it would go down low enough so he can have a beer still.
Nice.
And then put it back up and to take a drink. So never he needed to. And
love seeing the masks with
it is
and stuff.
Oh my gosh. He's just got servos doing it. It's awesome. It's so cool. You gotta go watch it.
That sounds fun.
That's someone I would like to get on the show at some point in time. That would be awesome.
I just subscribed, so maybe we can message him and we can try and get him on at a later date. It's crazy how willing people are to come on this show, you know? We've had a lot of big time guests on the show.
Yeah, did you see that Geeky Faye is now at like 350 subs or something like that?
Yeah, she blew me out of the water.
Yes. So well, she blew me out of the water too. But I was just she was I think under 200 or really close to 200 last I'd seen, and then all of a sudden, bam, over 300. So congrats to Geeky Faye. And if you don't know who Geeky Faye is, look up Geeky Faye art. I actually need to add that to the list of people to go and follow for the comment section, which I need to send you that list again.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll update that and send it so he can put it in the description down below. It's people you should go and follow. Do recommend. Great friends of ours. Geeky Faye, though, will be on our show possibly this month or next month. We may be doing a different show where we do a Saturday morning cup of tea.
I like that. I'm out on drinking.
Because
I like calling it that.
Because Geeky Faye lives in the UK. She's American, but she lives in the UK. She moved about a year or two ago over there. And maybe longer. But she moved over there, so that's where she's at now. And she's about 6 hours ahead of me. So, and Chris is 2 hours behind me.
So right now it's like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Hence the Saturday morning cup of tea. So it would make it to where she would be in the morning still, and it would be in the morning for us. Well, actually be closer to evening for her, really. But that would give us the actual face-to-face as much as possible with her over there. So,
yeah.
I was trying to convince her to come on, be up at 4 o'clock in the morning, because we've got several friends that live over there that are up at 4 o'clock in the morning still. I'm just like, wow.
Well, usually we got Thomas, who it's usually 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and he's like, "Oh, I'm still up, but I'll go to bed. I mean, who needs sleep?"
He pops in for a minute and then goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed now. Bye, guys."
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, that's someone who I was trying to figure out who I was forgetting to tag in the comment section when I said that we're live. It was Thomas, because I'm going through my mind of who do I tag? Who do I need to tag? Thomas. I'm not tagged Thomas. So I'll tag Thomas in that real quick. But yeah, so that's one person we're going to have coming on. She's great. Go check her out. Definitely highly recommend Geeky Faye.
Yeah, if you guys are watching this later, I'm going to have it down in the description. You guys will be able to see all the people that a lot of the people that we like to follow, some of our good friends that have been on the show before that are pretty cool. So it's good. You got any big time projects you're working on right now? Do you want to go over?
Well, I mean, got this guy that I've worked on.
So explain to us what that bad boy is.
This is a cyclone. So it's a dust cyclone. It's for my shop vac, so when I break the woodworking stuff. But I'm also going to be regrouting my shower, so I need a way to keep the dust from going everywhere. So that's what this is going to be. So I printed this on my Mbot printer, and I've got to tune it in more. And I had layer shifting issues that happened whenever it collided with the darn binder clips. And I fixed it, and I had another layer shift again after I fixed it. And I fixed that again today. I fixed it yesterday. I fixed it again. So I've got some work to do on that. I think it's doing some under extrusion because my test print was 2020 extrusion, And let's see if I can actually break it. I've broken it numerous times. As you can see, it was bigger, and there's another piece stuck down in here.
Was it easy to break because it was under extruding, or just because those were the layer lines?
Because it was under extruding. And if I could actually grip it, I could actually break it. But it's hurting my fingers to actually do that. So if I clamp it, just easily snapped. So unfortunately, that's the problem. I'm thinking that's up with it. So I need to change some settings in it. But this was something I could see go vertically, see how it turns out, and then try to tune it in after that. And it went up so far, and then it actually had a little bit of a shift up top, so I actually stopped it after that shift. I mean, so I could have stopped it at any point in time, but I saw that shift, and I said, all right, I need to fix that shift.
So I printed all those face shields.
Yeah.
And guess which printer came in clutch printing those face shields?
Your ANET.
The ANET A8, baby. The ANET A8 for the win, man. I'm telling you. I had my ANET going and my Ender going at the same time. And I had more.
Go ahead.
I had more failures with the Ender than I did with the ANET. And it was all due to build plate adhesion. I'm telling you, PETG does not stick to build tack. It's horrible, man. I did eventually figure it out, and I took your guys' advice you gave me last week, where you told me to I increased the bed temperature.
Crank it up.
I cranked it up a little bit. I set it to 70. I set it to 70, and it stopped warping. It stopped warping so bad, but I noticed that when I had it up at 70, for some reason, the bed like unleveled itself. I don't know if it's warping slightly because it's a little bit warmer or something. I don't know, but I was having to re-level the bed after every single print, where I would get some really high spots and really low spots.
Have you replaced your springs with the sturdier springs on it?
That's my next step. I was really dreading having to do that, because that's what all the Facebook groups tell you to do, is like the first thing, throw those springs out, they're the worst. And I've had this printer for, oh man, I don't even know. It's been, I think, more than 2 years that I've had it. I'm sure it's been more than 2 years. So I've had this printer for, 3 years or whatever, and I haven't had to worry about it. I've always had really good springs, but now I don't know, maybe they're just wearing out because they're getting old or something. But
oh yeah, they definitely do wear out, especially whenever they're not higher quality springs.
So. Yeah, so I'm gonna replace those next and see if that fixes the problem. But yeah. Hey Brian,
how's it going? Oh, so yeah, that's what I would definitely recommend, replacing those. I've got a friend who has an Ender, and he did actually replace the springs because he was having the issue with it constantly not being trammed properly.
Trammed, not leveled. Well, and that's not even really the issue, which is crazy, because it's only got one lead screw on the Z-axis, right? And then it's got that swing arm that comes out, and It's got the 3 wheels that attach to the other side, and it's never had an issue. It's always stayed pretty well trimmed. I have had some issues. I have had some issues with the carriage coming loose, and I've had to tighten up those eccentric nuts.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's been really good. So
Yeah.
my robos are still not working.
Send them to me. I'll make them work.
Well, they don't belong to me. They belong to the school, or else I'd throw them in the garbage. No, I need to get in contact with the company and get them to send me stuff. It's just working for a school. It's really difficult to get to have them order stuff. Because like if it's for me, then I just contact the company. I say, well, I need to fix this. Or if I'm trying to fix it, I say, oh, I need a new stepper motor. I just buy a new stepper motor. But you can't just buy stuff when you work for a school. You have to fill out requisition forms. You have to figure out where's that robo doing anything. Yeah, you have to find, figure out where's the money going to come from, what the account is coming out of, and it's it's not easy. Not easy.
Hey Eddie, how's it going, my friend? So yeah, that's definitely a super fun thing to get squared away there.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. I will. Well, maybe I'll figure it out. I've kind of narrowed it down to, I think that the main board is out because it's not sending power to the Raspberry Pi, which is funny to me that an $800 printer's brain is a Raspberry Pi, but that's just going down. But
I mean, Raspberry Pis are not a bad thing to do, but my thought would be having the Raspberry Pi in series with a main board. That way you can do like Octoprint. But
well, so Eddie, what's happening is on the Raspberry Pi, it's not popping up with the light that says that it's getting power. So sending out an SOS. Yeah. So it's not getting the light that says that it's got any power. So I went through Robo's troubleshooting, and they said to replace the cable with a different one. So they were going to send me a new cable. So I tried the cable that was on the other Robo printer, and the one that does. I have one that does print. It just prints. The quality is awful. I need to just tighten up the belts and see if I can get it printing a little bit better. But I swapped the cables over, and it still wasn't getting power. So it seems like the power is not coming from the main board to the Raspberry Pi. And so because it's just a little component on the board, for someone with my skill set, it probably just means the board's gone and I have to just replace it.
Yeah, that does make it a little difficult.
I do remember Joel's video about the Robo R2. Is that what it was?
Robo R2.
That had the bent lead screws.
That was bent lead screws when he got it from them, and they knew that it was going to Joel Telling. I think at one point in time he got one that was literally the only thing on the truck. It was like brought to him like that, like, this is the Holy Grail or the Ark of the Covenant. You just like, this is all that's loaded in it, and it was messed up.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing that. Yeah, the Robo C2 is just, I mean, it's the exact same printer as the R2, except the C2 is small. It has a 120 by 120 build volume. So
and they charge a lot for that printer. A lot.
It's a lot for what it is. It's a lot. I mean, I have yet to have a print come off of there that's actually good quality. So I'm part of it could be now. I will admit my fault. I have not been using Robo's proprietary or whatever version of Cura.
Slicer.
I wasn't using their slicer. I was using Cura configured for the Robo R2 or the Robo C2, which is a little bit different. So I'm gonna say that possibly it's my fault for some of the print quality errors because I have seen some other things that it printed and it did print a couple of things okay, but it does look like the belts are pretty loose. So that's something that I'll tighten up. I'll tighten up the belts. I'll see if I can download that software. The problem with downloading software is again the same. It's a school on the school computer. Getting the IT people they have to come and download the software for me. I can't just be like, hey, can I? Well, right, but Eddie, what I mean, Eddie, is I have two of them. So one of them does print, but the quality is garbage. The other one, the display won't turn on because the display, the user interface is powered by a Raspberry Pi, and it's not getting any power, and that's coming from the main board. So it's two different problems, but yes, I think so. I'm not sure how to import profiles into Cura. This is, me again showing how completely inexperienced I am, I guess. But I've only ever made my own profiles. I've never actually downloaded somebody else's profile into Cura. I'm not sure how that would work.
Well, it's you just pretty much just like save a profile.
Yeah, a lot of school I can't download a driver for the computer. I couldn't download a driver. So if I needed to install a new piece of hardware and I needed to update drivers on it, I wouldn't be able to do that on my own. I'd have to have the IT people do that because you have to have administrator privileges. But downloading files I can do because I'm like a user.
Yeah. So the like saving or importing or exporting the actual settings for the printer is just like doing a printable file. Pretty much, you're exporting out. Here, I'll show you. Pop this up.
Eddie, you got a good profile for a C2 for me?
So whenever you got your printer on there, you actually go in.
Well, but this isn't Cura, is it?
No, this isn't Cura. I don't have Cura on. The only Cura version I actually have on my computer at the moment is Keytech's version of Cura. So, which I'll pop that up.
Yeah.
But I've not actually exported on this. See, like this, I just select my printers for this one. This is just how this one is.
Eddie has a good profile for me. It just pops up a message that says, "This is how you throw it away."
That's hilarious. But,
message in a bottle.
So
it just pops up with a little bottle, and you click on it, and it just says, "Throw the printer away, and get a bottle of your favorite whatever." I do sparkling apple juice.
There you go.
Martinelli's.
Printer settings. So on this here, you can add, duplicate, import, and then there's export. And then you just, wherever you want to save it to for this, you just do that and it does the settings for the printer. So that's how that one works.
So today at my school, they wanted to increase school morale. They were trying to look for ways to bring us together. So we made a faculty playlist. So everybody in the school got to request one song for the playlist. We put it on the playlist and we spent all day. We'd listen to the song. We try and guess, who picked that song. So what I want to know in the chat right now is let's make a community playlist for the AC show, and I want to know if you could pick one song to be in the community playlist, what song would it be? That's what I want to know. Blending up an SOS. Well, we're just trying to make the best out of it. In my community, luckily, I live in a community that hasn't been hit nearly as hard as some other communities with this pandemic. And so because I teach at a smaller school, we're actually able to social distance and still go to our meetings. So we've been meeting in the library where we can spread out and we're all pretty far apart. We've been wearing masks to our meetings too. But when I say bring together, I just mean like we're just trying to I don't know what's the kind of like a team building thing, just trying to get to know each other better. Bored by Tessa Violet. I'm going to write all these down. I'm going to listen to them, and then we'll talk about them next week on the show, I think.
Oh, there you go.
I think that's cool. Keep notes. Let's add a new note called AC Show Community Playlist. All right.
There you go.
Your horoscope for today. I love that song, Brian. I do. I love that song. That's your horoscope for today. I know that song. Yeah.
There you go.
I'm not familiar with. Well, I might know that Bored song, but it does not. It's not. The tune's not immediately coming up into my head. What about you, Aaron?
I'm tired.
You got a song
Been going on.
Your playlist?
No, I don't. Not off the top of my head, I don't. Because the only thing that's on my head is my hat and my headphones.
That's a nice try, Aaron. That was a good try, man.
I could just hear Brian just go.
Yeah. The king of dad jokes just disappointed in you. The hardware store is not immediately coming to mind either. I've listened to a lot of Weird Al Yankovic, and that one's just not coming. I am doing my stream. You want to say hi? Yeah. Say hi. Say hi.
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 Hi, Hop Along Cassidy. How's that foot?
Oh. How's your foot, dude? Still got his sweet little boot on.
He says it's a boot time.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. He's got another 3 weeks of this boot, but it's kind of just become a part of him. He knows whenever he takes it off, I want boot on. I want boot on. And we put it back on. So Okay, go ask Mama to get you in the back. He's just kind of a little gimp right now. A little gimpy. He just kind of walks. That one boot's taller than the other foot, so even with a shoe on, he's walking like this. Yeah.
Well, you need to 3D print a little lift for his other shoe with flexible filament.
That
way it won't be all slippery. So
that I probably could do. Hey, Michael, how you doing today, buddy? Good to have you. So Michael, because you're joining a little late here, let me just let you know we're gonna make a little community playlist. So if you have a song that you think really helps to represent the community this maker community that we live in, okay, go ask your mom. Then we're adding it to a list here. We're gonna review them all over this next week. All right, go ask mom. Get you in the back. Okay, go see if Emma's in there. Is that the okay, so hey, take him in the other room, please. Take him with you. Take him with you. Go get your mom. So have you ever seen Homestar Runner? Since I own an A-Net Firehouse by Kiss. What's that song? We didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world was turning.
Every time I hear that, all I can think is, Ryan started the fire.
Yeah. Ryan started the fire. That's funny. Fire guy.
But yeah.
That's funny. Oh man, what was I saying? So have you ever heard of Homestar Runner? Homestarrunner.com.
Sounds familiar.
It's completely juvenile, but when I was in high school, it was kind of a big thing. They used to do these things called strong bad emails. It was all animated, and people would email this cartoon character. Like real people would send these emails in, and this cartoon character would respond to these emails, then make all these videos, and it was hilarious. But one of the videos was about writing a techno song, and so they asked this cartoon character if he liked techno music, and he's like, all techno music is the same. It just sounds like this, bum 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 bum, and then there's another part that comes in like ba-da-da bum ba-da-ba bum, and then there's like this really high pitched noise, or like a siren that's like, and then there's always some obscure movie quote from like the 60s. The system is down. The system is down. And then it takes all these pieces and puts them together to make like a techno beat song in the background. So I thought that was really funny. Well, when I was 17, I fell off of a 4-wheeler. I hit my head. I got a concussion. Had to go in and get a CT scan, and then they found I have inside of my brain a cyst, like right in the middle of my brain, that if it grows, it would actually cut off the flow of spinal fluid into my spine, and it would crush my brain. It was a little scary when I was 17, but now that I'm 32 and nothing bad has ever happened to me, I feel all right. Knock on wood. Oh, there's no wood here. My nightstand. So anyways, I went in to go do the MRI so they could get a better picture of this thing in my brain. And I lay down. And when you lay down, if you've ever had an MRI, you lay down, and all of a sudden the whole machine just goes dum, 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 dum. And I was like, this sounds familiar. And then I hear it knocking again, da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so funny. And you know what they told me? Like, I know this is not true now, But you know what they told me when I went in to get the MRI? They said, if you move, the radiation will fry your brain and you can die. That's what they told me to keep me from moving inside of this MRI. I was 17 years old, right? I'm laying there and I'm like, okay. So they go and scan, and it's all and then all of a sudden there's like these lights that like run through the tube, and it's all, and in my head I was like, don't you freaking laugh. If you laugh, you could freaking die. And I'm sitting there in my head, I'm like, I was thinking so hard, I was all, the system is down. The system is down. I was like, don't sing it. Don't sing it. Ooh, I like that. All right, so Eddie says we didn't start the fire.
Under pressure. That's a good one.
Start the fire. Now here's my question. Eddie, you say under pressure. Are we talking the remake, or are we talking about the original Queen version?
I'm thinking the original.
What is going on? I like the remake too, but we can start the fire. I don't know what Techno Chocolate is, but you know what? It does not surprise me that Joe submitted something called Techno Chocolate. Joe, you're an amazing person, man. I love having you around.
That's what I thought. Queen. Period. There is no other version.
There's no. It's not bad, man. It's not bad. Let's see. And then Under Pressure. Under Pressure.
You know, that saying, it's not bad, is usually code for it's horrible. But I want you to eat this anyway, because I took a bite out of it.
He just cast in his courtesy sniff. I've had 2 MRIs on my foot. Earplugs are a necessity. I'm telling you, because if you laugh, they say that it could kill you. These people, man. Oh, Techno Chocolate was the bonus animation on the HSR. Homestar Runner, Strong Bad email. See, Joe's got my back, man. He knows what I'm talking about. Eddie says story time. You mean you got a story for us, Eddie? Because I'm listening, buddy. Techno Chocolate. I'm going to look that up now. It's been such a long time since I've seen. All I remember is that kid's mom was saying we need to lose weight, so I put the scale on the carpet. Oh, yeah. Techno Chocolate. The chief is grounded. That's funny. So, did you guys ever watch that episode of The Simpsons where Homer was trying to lose weight so he could become disabled by being fat? Did you ever watch that one? He was trying to gain weight so he could be considered disabled, and he's like, you have to weigh over 300 pounds and you can claim Social Security checks by being disabled. So he's trying to gain weight, and he goes and stands on the scale, and he was like 280 pounds, and so he hadn't made it yet. And anyways, he was all sad because he didn't make it or whatever, and Bart just looks at him and goes, Dad, towel rack. And his gut was stuck on the towel rack, so he moved it off, and then the scale goes up past 300. I was going to say, Eddie, if you want to lose weight, just install a towel rack in exactly the right spot.
That's funny.
One of my favorite Homestar Runner clips is the Teen Girl Squad. It's these 4 teenage girls that fight crime, and there's one is like the popular one, the ugly one. There's like that's my favorite. Joe knows what I'm talking about. Joe's got my back.
Joe's got your back.
Or go to the moon. Too slow. I don't know. We're heading to Mars soon. They're sending a manned mission to Mars.
Yep.
Would you sign up for that, Aaron, if they asked you to?
Oh, I wanted to.
You wanted to?
Oh, yes. I'd be the geekiest person there.
I doubt it. Honestly.
I didn't say I'd be the smartest person. I'd be the geekiest, biggest nerd there.
Haven't they? You know what, Eddie? I have not seen The Martian. I got to put that on my
would
watch.
Let's see. I would be on Mars reading The Martian.
I need to watch The Martian. I've heard that's a good one. I need to watch a lot of movies. I need to watch a lot of movies. I started recently watching the show Quantico. Have you ever seen that show?
Nope.
I got halfway through. I got halfway through the first season, and it started reminding me of Pretty Little Liars. Did you ever watch any of Pretty Little Liars? The worst show ever.
Yes.
Let me recap the entire show, Pretty Little Liars. Someone's gonna kill us. And then they're like, don't tell the police. But they're gonna kill us. If you tell the police, they might find out that we cheated on that test that one time 4 years ago. It's like ridiculous. Like, just freaking go to the cops already, right? Dad. Quantico, very, very similar, but it's like go to the CIA. But what's it? Listen, nobody cares about your stupid little secret. Just go to the FBI and tell them what's going on so that nobody else dies. It's crazy, man. What?
Can you take me in?
I know Chris has probably not read it or watched it for sure because little kids around is one thing. But one book I really liked was the Expanse series.
Not familiar with it.
Yeah, there's a lot of cursing in there and stuff, but one of the ships is called the Mark Watney. They mention it. Then my mind goes, is that supposed to be in the same universe as The Martian?
That's not a book series that I've read or seen. But did you see that they recently released the Stormlight Archives game?
Yeah.
My brother has it.
Brotherwise Games is what did the game, and I know that because they created Boss Monster.
My brother has it. He's supposed to bring it over for me to play the other day, but he forgot. So
tell him he's not allowed over until he brings it.
Brian, I hope you have a good night. Thanks for coming in, stopping by. We only got maybe another 5 minutes or so of the stream left, and then I have to get out of here so I can make sure that I get my kids to bed.
Yep. Peace out, Brian.
Rocket Man was a better Mars movie.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
Whole world in his hands.
Gets trapped outside of the hibernation pod. The entire trip there and back.
That's funny.
Yeah, but that was humor. That was just a bunch of humor going on in that movie. The Martian is a little more realistic. So, but yeah. So I got asked by our good friend in chat, Joe Larson, what my favorite go-to printer is. What is your favorite go-to printer, Chris?
You know, it's hard to say because I I think that I think that my Ender has better print quality, but it's been giving me some fits right now. And you know what? My ANET has been so solid. And you guys are gonna probably crucify me for this in the chat, but my ANET's still stock, man. It really is. It's still stock. I even have the stock firmware on it. Still, it's solid. Your mom. Oh man, one of the best moments of my life was I was in class, and for some reason I overheard the kids starting to do yo mama jokes, and a kid looks at me and goes, man, Mr. Carroll, your mama's so dumb. She put 2 quarters in her ears and said she was listening at 50 cent. And I said, at least my mama has 2 quarters. And he was like, that was like that was the best yo mama joke I ever told.
That's funny.
So apparently I'm gonna have to watch Lost in Space, which definitely have thought about doing that.
Yeah, it's a good series.
I really, really thought about watching the Swiss Family Robinson movie or TV show.
Oh, so I've watched a movie fairly recently, Sonic the Hedgehog, which has well, we know it's Sonic. In it, they had it one of Sonic's quills being scanned inside of a 3D printer. And you could tell it was a 3D printer, one, by looking at it, being that we do 3D printing and all that. But two, you could see, because there's the bed, so there's the rails there still. And then there was literally into the back right corner was the extruder head and all that. And they were using it for something else. So it was literally a prop in the movie.
I recently
just like in Picard, where they use two of the same printer and have it side by side, and have like food in one, and then same food appears in the other one. It clones the food.
Yeah, that's how 3D printing works.
Yeah, they are apparently good props.
What are you? Okay, I'm curious. One last thing. We got like 45 seconds here. We got like just a couple minutes left here. I'm curious your guys' opinion on this because I don't think, in my opinion, I've seen quite a few videos of 3D printed food, and I don't think that that's 3D printed. Like the 3D printed pizza that it just kind of squirts out a liquid dough in a pattern, and then it squirts sauce on top of it, and then it squirts cheese on top, and then you put it in an oven. To me, that's not 3D printed food. That is, what would you call it? That's like processed assembly line food. Like, that's not 3D printed. What do you guys think? You got any thoughts on that, Aaron?
I can see that. I mean, yeah, I can see it like that. It's kind of like what they do for like clay and stuff like that. Like whenever they do the extrusion out for 3D printed clay. But at least that's actually doing that, and it's not so much of a liquid. But I mean, they've done the steak that way that I've seen, and then they fry it up. Of course, that's a little bit different than like the pizza. But I mean, it's technically 3D printed in a sense, but it's more like 2.5.
I guess my thought is, I don't see any benefit in 3D printing food yet. I just don't. I don't see it. Now, there is one. Joe, I'll check out your video. I'll check out your video to see, because I'm curious about that. So there is one exception to that, and that is in like nursing homes. A lot of times they can't eat food that's hard. They have to have, soft. They don't have teeth a lot of times or whatever. And so I've seen this thing where they make potato sculptures on their plates using 3D printers. So it's like mashed potatoes in this thing, and it prints it out and makes a sculpture out of it. To me, that's not necessarily 3D printed food, but I can see how something like that would be good for just adding a little bit of beauty, because it's unfortunate in nursing homes, retirement homes, and things. They don't get a lot of attention. Nobody comes and visits them. They don't get a lot of stuff. If we could exude a base paste and add flavor and texture. Well, here's the thing about that, though, Joe, is you would have to be able to modify the texture to be able to make different foods. Because what would be the purpose of having a base paste if everything tastes the same? Then if everything's going to taste the same anyways, why not just have a whole bunch of steaks? Because it's not going to take up any more space than the base paste would. So it's not going to be saving any space doing that. The only reason why you'd want to do that is you would want to be able to make a variety of foods when a variety isn't available. So that's my opinion, is if you're going to 3D print food, you need to be able to 3D print food with some sort of variety. Otherwise, if it's all going to be the same.
Yeah, I agree.
Flexible in its preparation. Talk about eggs, huh, Joe? Think about eggs. There's a lot of ways you can prepare an egg, and it does a lot of different things. You can whip an egg to make meringue. You can boil an egg. You can fry an egg, and they all have different textures, and it's all the same. It's all the same food, all the same composition, but very different textures, which has a huge impact on flavor and option. And then just change the spices, maybe, I guess. I don't know. Some sort of egg base. There's your protein, Joe.
There you go.
I am a meat eater, all right? I eat salad every once in a while, but you put a salad and a steak in front of me, I'm going to choose the steak. It's just the way it is.
Put the steak on the salad.
Slice the steak up and have a steak salad.
Oh.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Yeah, so Michael's saying, a lot of nursing home residents just don't get any visitors. My wife worked at a nursing home for a couple of years too when we were first married, and it was really similar situation. Right now, especially, something happens inside of the nursing home, a resident gets sick, and they can't even have people come and visit them. And it's really hard because you end up with, during Christmas time, Mother's Day, Thanksgiving, those are the time at nursing homes where they have the most deaths, because people just kind of lose the will to live. They don't have any family to come and visit them. It's really sad. So anything that they can get into the nursing homes just to help bring a little bit more joy and cheer to the residents it goes a long ways in keeping them alive. Honestly, it's kind of sad. Soylent Green. All right. Well, anyways, I got to go make sure that my kids are in bed. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you for staying on the chat and putting up with my crazy, ludicrous theories. We did not get into any crazy Harry Potter theories, although Joe, sometime we're gonna have to get together and talk because I've got some more interesting ideas about Dumbledore's Horcrux. Good luck with sampling your guitar, Eddie. Take some pictures, post them on social media, or just send them to us because I'm curious. I want to see what it looks like. Good luck with that. But I hope you guys have a great week. Next week we'll be over here on Aaron's channel. And pretty quick here, we're going to have Geeky Faye on for a special Saturday morning tea. So I guess I hope you guys have a good day, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.
Be safe.